WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Bloomington, Indiana. Experience the holiday season by exploring unique downtown shops, experiencing local artisan markets, and enjoying one of the many seasonal performances. Plan a winter getaway and discover more holiday happenings at visitbloomington.com. WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Foster Success, helping to ensure older foster youth are safe, connected, and housed through the holiday season through their Friendsgiving campaign. More at fostersuccess.org.
I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to Cultural Manifesto. Justin Bland is the creator and host of Made Man Improv, a popular improv comedy showcase based in Indianapolis. Under Justin's direction, Made Man Improv has built a loyal audience and a recognizable brand within the local art scene. But after years of sold-out performances, Justin is ending the Made Man series this month. I recently spoke with Justin to learn more. Justin, thanks for taking time to be here today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to discuss your work with Made Man Improv.
Yes, sir.
A performance group and live comedy show you created.
Yes, sir.
First, I wanted to learn a bit about your roots. From what I understand, your love of performing and improv goes back to Arlington High School?
Absolutely.
Is that right? And a teacher named Miss Lewis? Is that
Oh, my God. Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
So when I got to Arlington High School, I think it was 2005, I was always a class clown. I just didn't know. I didn't have an outlet. Looking back now, I just didn't have an outlet of where to put all this energy, all these jokes and everything. So 2005, I met Miss Lewis at Arlington High School. She was the drama teacher. And once she seen, like, I think it was just like an exercise that we did. And once she seen me and my guy, Marcus Elliott, she was like, oh, we have to have plays this year. Because I think they had went along like a drought of not having plays there for a while. So when I got into the arts program, that's what they kind of like got me on, was like, oh, we're going to absolutely do plays and things like that. And then she told us, like, we haven't done a play in like 7 years, but we have to do one with you two here. And from there, like, she just started to instill in me what acting was, what improv was. I had no idea what improv was, and she started to just like see something in me that I didn't see in myself, and she gave me that outlet. So at Arlington High School is definitely where I got my start in the very beginning.
I got to ask, what was the play?
The play, it's crazy because the play was a mixture of things. Like, I think we did a play where we did like a montage and a mix of Black cinema. So once we were doing that, she actually introduced me to Dreamgirls. I had never seen it, and she was just like, you have to do this Jimmy Early part. And I did that. I think that was my sophomore year. So and then after that, she let us write our own play called A Dream Realized. And that was super fun because that's the first time in my life where I felt like I was good at something, where somebody kind of like gave me the keys to kind of operate it, to say, you do it. I want to, and trusted me to do it. So that was pretty fun as well.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah.
You grew up in Indianapolis, right?
Absolutely.
What part of town did you live in primarily?
The Far East Side.
Far East Side, yeah. Looking back on your youth, what was life like here for you?
Actually, I think so we stayed in like one of the rougher parts of the Far East Side, but I was so, like, my parents did a wonderful job to like blocking all the negativity out. Looking back now, it was so much that we could have got caught up in, but it was just an honor and a blessing to have both my parents. And once you tried to make a mistake or you thought about making a mistake, like, you just think about your parents in the back of your head. So that was already instilled into us. But growing up, like, we didn't know that we were poor. Like, we just had so much fun. I have 5 siblings, and we all grew up under the same roof, and it was just like my childhood was just a blast. So my brothers and sisters, me being the youngest of the boys, I have a younger sister, 2 girls and 4 boys. And like, they never treated me like the little brother. Like, once they seen something in me as well, they kind of catered to that. And once they seen that, oh, he's naturally funny, he's naturally gifted, everybody just kind of catered and honed into, my skills. So I'm very appreciative of that as well. But growing up on the Far East Side was a blast.
Mm-hmm. Justin, I know you don't like to describe the Made Man Improv events. You want audiences to experience the shows for themselves. But can you give our listeners just a basic outline of what these events are all about? I know you have a a large cast of performers. You have a DJ, there's storytelling, there's skits, there's audience participation. Just give us kind of a sense of what you're bringing to the stage.
You just did it. Like, you literally just did it. Like, when you were saying that, I was like getting excited. But like, we take all of that and we mix in, the culture, we mix in the community, and we try to present something that is totally different from the norm. So a lot of times people go to plays, people go to comedy shows, but there's nothing that's like right there in your face that's super immersive and crowd driven. So when we say crowd driven, there's a lot of points in the show where the crowd just kind of takes over. If the DJ drops a song that we all know, we're about to have a sing along. So I think it's a melting pot of a lot of the great shows that I watched growing up, like the Kenan and Kel, the Saturday Night Live, the In Living Color, things like that. I've watched a lot of these shows while and out. I watched a lot of these shows growing up, and then I just kind of like sampled something from each show that kind of inspired me, put it into the melting pot, and then you get the Made Man Improv show.
As director of Made Man, what is your role in this? What do you do on a daily basis?
On a day-to-day basis, I am freely creating. I am coming up with skits. I'm coming up with different immersive, because it is an interactive show. There's a lot of audience participation. So I'm trying to come up with fun in different ways and creative ways to involve the crowd, to make it feel like I'm in the show and I'm not just at the show. It's one thing to say, I can watch this on TV and I can just kind of sit here. But when you come to the show, it's something about being immersed in it, to where it's like I'm participating in the show. They're taking my suggestions. They allowed me to come up here and participate. So I'm always trying to create.
Tell me about the cast of performers you work with. How big is this crew, and are these all regulars? Do people come in and out? Is it all Indianapolis people?
So I have a core group, and then over the course of the years, we add features, and then from there, they can become a member of Made Man. But right now in my core group, we have Kelly Kell, we have Jasmine Elizabeth, we have Sid Blaine, Marcus Elliott, and Jero Anderson. And they just kind of hold things down when we get new people or we get recruits and things like that. They kind of really... they're like my vets. So when we get new people in, they kind of, coach them up and they kind of help me out and things like that. So you might get some people who's already good, some people who are just mid-tier. And honestly, you might get some people who are just like, I'm really new to improv, but having those core vets and those people that you work with around the clock every year, it really helps to build the chemistry and the bond when we do get new people. So.
And Justin, the Made Man Improv show has really connected with audiences in Indianapolis. You've done over 40 shows. The shows have a reputation for selling out very quickly. Tell me a bit about who your audience is and why is there such a strong connection there?
I think I have an audience full of dreamers, and I think a lot of the times, like, we try to go after like age groups, we try to go after just certain demographics or races or something like that. But I think that it's important to tap into what inspires you. I'm a dreamer. Like, I have dreams that I'm still fulfilling, that I'm still accomplished since I was a little boy, like when I was 8, 9 years old. And these are dreams of, creating. In my head when I was younger, it used to just be like, I'm dreaming these things for me. I'm dreaming these things because I want to be successful. I want to have a theater. I want to put on productions. But then as I start to get older, I realized that my dream was that big because it helped so many other people. Like, my platform has grown from me just trying to entertain people to almost like a place of healing. People come and they laugh. People bring problems to the show, and I'm talking about the cast to the audience. We go through so many things on a day-to-day basis because we're human, and a lot of the time it's an outlet for us, and it's a stress reliever for the audience. So just to have that dream as a kid and to be fulfilling it now, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm just appreciating that on this journey.
Yeah, this is not a group of passive spectators. It sounds like you've really built a community.
Absolutely. We call them Fox family because at some point you just go from I'm showing up to a show to I know when the next show is. I'm spreading the word. I'm talking to everybody about it. I have a lot of people now who just come to the show, but if you talk to them, you would think that they're on staff, literally, because the energy behind it, the passion behind it. So you want to bring a family dynamic to it. I built the show off of what I know, and that's love in all aspects. So you kind of just meet people where they at, no matter their background, and that's the success we had with it so far.
Yeah, I mentioned the shows are successful and some sell out. You're playing large theaters. Your upcoming show is at the Walker. I know you've done some stuff at the Indiana Historical Society's theater. I heard that one of your shows sold out in less than 10 minutes.
It sold out in 4 minutes. And to this day, I believe that was 6 years ago, but to this day, like, that's like a driving force for me. That alone shows me that it's achievable, it's attainable. And even that, yeah, we sold out in 4 minutes, but I was just looking at the bigger picture. Like, there's a demand for it. There's something here that people love. There's something here that people are receiving. There's something here that people need. And once you look at it like that, it just shifted everything that I started doing. It was like, okay, this is no longer entertainment. We sold out in 4 minutes. That says something to me. That to everybody else, it's just like, oh, that's so dope. That's, your show is successful. That's amazing. But to me personally, I was just like, this is something that we need, so let me get a little bit more serious about it. I don't ever want to get to a point where it's just laughs. I want to be able to give you some substance. I want to be able to have that realism to it. I want to be able to just give you, raw as the world is going to give you raw. So just in a safe environment and in a place that we can kind of just kick our feet up and laugh about it. So.
That's a significant achievement for a locally produced show. I mentioned to you that for many years I made my living as a DJ and promoter. And what I quickly realized when I got into that world is I thought I would be competing with other local promoters and nightclubs, but you're really competing with the NFL, the NBA.
Literally.
Beyonce or Taylor Swift are in town. You're competing with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. You're fighting for the public's attention alongside these giants of entertainment.
Absolutely.
In addition to being the creative director and founder, you're also the promoter, I assume.
Right.
Tell me about being a promoter and how have you been so successful in that?
I think a lot of the times when people are promoting, they are looking at it as, I'm selling tickets. I'm selling tickets. And a lot of times I tell people, like, no, you're not selling tickets. You're selling your product. I'm buying a ticket to get to your product. Now, if it was like a tangible product, it would be an easier exchange to see, but you're essentially selling your product. So you don't want to try to get better and super duper amazing in marketing. That's good, but you can have the best marketer in the world and then bring everybody out one time. And if your product is not there, then we won't be back. So the reason why I have success as far as multiple people coming back and reoccurring guests and 35 to 36% of my show being reoccurring people is because of the fact that we can communicate and we can reach you on a different level than just, hey, we're selling tickets. No, we have a product that you're going to love and you're going to be thoroughly entertained once you get here. You're going to see the atmosphere. I think that's why a lot of times I'm not really good at explaining it, because it is one of those things where you have to just come and experience the vibe in the air. It's just something in the air that just feels like magic. It's something in the air that just feels like, gives you that Halloween Town feel, to where it's just like, I'm not only being entertained, but I'm in a safe environment and I don't have to worry about anything. And this is just a beautiful atmosphere. It's almost like a family reunion. So that's the vibe that I wanted to create. And I think that's when people come there, they see that, okay, this is not a sales pitch. This is everything that he said it was and beyond. So that is the Made Man culture. That is the Made Man vibe. And that is why we have success of bringing people back and putting, people in those seats.
Justin, we've been talking about how successful Made Man Improv is, both commercially and artistically. So our listeners might be surprised to learn that you're bringing the series to a close.
Yeah.
Your final show is happening on December 27th at the Walker Theater.
Absolutely.
Why are you ending the series?
Because I feel like at some point in time, a lot of people don't know that I've been doing improv for the last about 13 to 14 years. I brought it to the city 7 years ago. So we were able to do 7 seasons of the show. And once I got to a point where it was just like, I don't want to say you plateau, but there's a point where you just know that something else is next. And for you to eventually walk through that door, you have to close the other one. I think a lot of the times I see people who are successful in something, they open too many doors at once, and then the thing that you knew them for, that you loved them for, it starts to fade, and it starts to just feels like a machine produced it, and it just starts to it don't have that personal curation to it anymore. So me personally, it was just like, I'm not going to be able to create at a level. I don't want to create from lack. I want to be able to create from creativity and to be inspired. And not saying that I'm not in that lane anymore as far as Made Man, but it's just like I have other dreams that are just as passionate, that I'm just as passionate about as the Made Man show. Like, I have to get my own theater, and that's what the next goal is. That's the next step, is to go out here and to get my own theater. That way I can be that person and be that stepping stool in somebody else's career when they need a space, or when they need a program that I'm going to offer, if they need some classes that I'm going to offer, then I want them to be able to come to this hub to where basically, I just want to be the person that I needed. And that's the biggest goal. There's so many times I look around and say, man, if I had this person at this point in my life, if I had this person at this point in my life, and not realizing that I can be that person right now for somebody in their life. So that's the goal. That's the mission. The mission stays the same, and we just calling an audible. We're just saying, okay, it's not Made Man Improv show no more. Now we're going after this theater so we can give you a multitude of productions.
I want to come back to that, but I do want to ask about this final show. It takes a lot of confidence or faith to walk away from something that has put money in your pocket for the last few years. How are you feeling heading into this final event? Is this an emotional time for you? Is this going to be something that you walk away in tears at the end of the night?
I'm pretty sure tears will fall, and it's because I have so many people who will be there, who will be present, who help me along the way. I hear a lot of times that people say, people told me that I would never amount up to this. People told me that. Throughout my life, I had the blessing of having people in my life who always encouraged me, who always poured into me, from teachers to coaches to mentors to my parents to everybody. So I think it'll be emotional because a lot of those people are going to be in the room. So, and just to think about, a lot of the times when you're doing something that people deem as great, you don't see it as that because it's just something that you were called to do. This is something that I'm supposed to do this, so it don't feel right receiving praise for it. But then the moment that I announced that this was the last show, it's like everything stopped and all my work caught up to me. And I had this moment of being proud, and it was just like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I've done some amazing things, and to know that these people are coming to support us and to pour into us and cheer us on for the next step, it's definitely going to be an emotional night. But we talked about that in rehearsal as well. It's like we don't want to push the show and drive the show off those emotions. We still want to go out there and perform at a high level because you're still going to have some people who have never experienced the show. This is their first time, as it's our last, and you still want to go out there and perform at a high level. But just taking the emotions and just taking them for what they are and just really just appreciating these last few moments of this chapter.
As this run of 40-some shows comes to an end, years of your life's work, do any memories on stage stand out to you? Is there something you look back on as like a really powerful memory of this time?
I think it's two. The very first one is when I pitched to my improv class that we were going to have a show, because it started out as Made Man Improv Academy, and we would just come and just get people just tightened up as far as improv. And then Gerald was like, I think we should, I told somebody this could be like the next In Living Color. We should do a show. And at that moment, we kind of just shifted everything. At that point in time, they never had a show. I had my own personal show when I was doing it at Vincennes and ISU and IU and things like that. But they had never experienced a show, because these are not just drama kids. These are people who are dreamers who say, I want to get better at acting. I want to get better at comedy. I want to get better just at my personal overall stage presence. So they didn't know what a show was, and I had this vision in my head. And then when we did the first half of the show, the audience just received it so well, and it's like we had that moment of the aha, like it was like the this is it moment. And when we went backstage for intermission, we got footage of it. Everybody was just giving each other fives, giving each other hugs, and it wasn't because, oh, we're finished with the show, because we could have a whole nother half left, but it was just that people in that moment understood it. It's like, I get it. At the same time, the audience was understanding, oh, this is what improv is. This is what Made Man Improv is. It was like that moment of intermission, because on the other side of that curtain, the cast was having that same moment of, oh, this is what a show is. So just to have that cohesive moment together with the audience, with the cast, and it just being super organic, that was literally one of the best. That was the first show. That was one of the best moments. And then the second one will have to be, I was standing in the middle of the stage at like the seventh show, and the music is playing, the audience is up dancing and singing, and the cast is out there in the audience, and I just had this moment on stage where I just looked, and I kind of was just like, this is it. Like, this is what I've been trying to create these last 5 to 6 years, and now went on a brief break and brought it back to the city, and like, this is it. So it was those two moments that I would definitely forever cherish, because I feel like it was like the driving force of what I'm building.
Justin, it feels like you have a really strong commitment to the community here in Indianapolis.
Absolutely.
A lot of people in your shoes might be thinking about how they can export this to, go to Hollywood, make as much money as you can off this. You're talking about planting deeper roots here, getting a theater. Tell me about that. Are you tempted to kind of try to export this out beyond Indiana, or is your focus on the community here?
My focus is strongly on the community here, because I feel like there's always this point where people who, whatever they think success is or whatever they feel success is in their personal life, I feel like they get success here, and specifically in Indianapolis, and then they venture off somewhere else. And then it's just like, okay, like who's next? And it's just like, for me personally, I want to build something here to where it's a staple in the city. I want, the Made Man Improv show, whether it's the Fox Box Theater or whatever, the name is, I want it to be like Kings Island. I want people to come here for it. Like, I don't want people to have to go around the city and drive through the city to go seek entertainment when we have top-notch entertainment here. So I want to create that staple here, and I want the people who are aspiring to be in theater, to be on the stage in any capacity, I want them to be able to have a hub to where they can go to. I don't want them to have to take classes in Chicago or to drive to Cleveland to go meet with somebody about improv. You don't have to do that if I build something here for us to sustain and for us to, to build a legacy behind. So I'll be here. I don't plan on moving. Yeah, we might venture out to have shows in different states and different places, and but as far as moving, that's not my card. So.
Justin, the Made Man finale is happening on December 27th at the Madam Walker Theater. Yeah. Any final thoughts you want to share with our listeners?
If you haven't got tickets, I encourage you to get tickets. I would love for you to come. This is the final show. All the hard work, all the amazing years, all these wonderful interviews. I appreciate you. It's just amazing to be on this journey and to be closing this chapter in this fashion at a historical theater like the Madam Walker. I'm grateful, and if you want to come take a chance and laugh, I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It's a J. Bland Made Man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you.
Justin, thanks so much for being here. It was great to meet you and learn about your work. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you.
WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Foster Success, helping to ensure older foster youth are safe, connected, and housed through the holiday season through their Friendsgiving campaign. More at fostersuccess.org.